This is going to be the agenda today. I'll be showing you a cloud video, and then you'll understand what is cloud, and then I'll talk about basics of cloud. And Mr. Vijay Bharat will be explaining about how to work with Amazon Cloud, how to work with Microsoft. That he's going to explain. Then Mr. Ranganath will be covering more about reinforcement learning. Then in the afternoon, so we will start. This is all forenoon session. Okay, so this is forenoon, and this is afternoon. So I will be covering about big data and how to introduction. Then I'll show you the MongoDB, work with MongoDB, how to work with the MongoDB. Then we will be giving both Ranga and myself together will review whatever topics. We just took a list of the topics. You have learned a lot. Okay, we learned a lot together. And then we will do an assignment review, and finally end with the feedback from the participants and directly function, and Sula ma'am will take over that, right? So that is the agenda for today. So let's start with the positive point. So this is...
Good morning, doctor. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Ranga. Good morning. So in life, there will be two stories today. One is about, what type of happiness you have, how greedy you are, and things like that. That is in the morning. And Ranga also will share a story today. At the end of the day, you will hear a wonderful story of gratitude that you will hear from me. Probably end of the session, I will share the story. So there was a village. It is not a small village. It's kind of a medium-sized village, and there were around 300 to 400 people live there. So there was one gentleman. He has built a beautiful house, like a bungalow. That was the biggest house in that village. So one day he went out and then came back. He went by bus and then came to the village, and he saw that the house was on fire. So like a lot of smoke is coming out of that house, and so much of fire, and everybody is around that house and then looking at it. Everybody is looking at the house. House is on fire. They're just seeing it. Like all the family. I noticed that in India, when you see some accidents or things like that, nobody will go and help. Only very few will go. They stop their car. They look at it. They stop the bike. What happened? What happened? They're always curious George. They call. They always look at what's happening. What's happening? Right? That's all they do. They never learn from the mistakes, or they never help. But rather, they just look at it. So that's what's happening. The whole village was looking at the fire and everything. And this fellow came. His own house, no. He started crying, yo. He started crying, oh my God, what happened? He doesn't know what to do. He was panic. And then he started crying, my house is in fire. My house is in fire. Please help. Like that, he started. At that time, he had 3 sons. The first son started running and then came to his father. Daddy, don't worry, Daddy. This house, we already signed an agreement with one person, one landlord, and that landlord is going to buy this house. We have already, yesterday, you've been thinking of selling this house and you want to settle down in the city. These 3 guys are living in a city. So anyway, we are going to live in an apartment in city, so no worries. Then this fellow was, wow, cool, fine. Now he is like another person. Along with the 300, he is the 301 person. He's looking at the house in fire because this is already, agreed and things like that. And after half an hour or 1 hour, the second son came. The second son came. Daddy, our house is in fire. Why are you saying? Then he says, no. This my first son, elder brother, told that this is already agreement. Yes, Daddy, but that fellow only gave a token advance. He only gave like some 15 lakhs or 20 lakh. This house is about worth of 60 lakhs. We did not get the full money. So we don't know whether this person will buy the house or not. Then again, Chucho, my house is firing. Sofa is firing. TV is blasting. My house is firing. He started again crying. Right. So this continued for another hour. And after almost an hour, the third guy came. He just came and told his father, Daddy, just now I talked to this gentleman. He's a perfect gentleman like Mr. Ranganath TMGK. Right. He is very honest. He says, I agreed. Whether the house is in fire or whatever condition, I will pay. I will register the house by tomorrow. No problem, no issues like that. This the third son said. Then he's happy. Wow, good. No problem. Now he is looking at like another person looking at the house, right? So this is namakku vanda rattam Sridevi, mattangalukku vanda takkali chutney, whatever. That's excellent. So what did you infer from this story? See, you have to have either you feel sorry for out of others, you just feel pity for others. Okay, it's like only when Ravadi ma'am did the work and I did the work, only I should be happy. No, even if somebody does the good work, be happy. Whatever good things happen in the world, be happy, right? If something bad happened, feel sorry for them, feel pity for them, have a gratitude, and remain thankful to people, and then celebrate happiness. It is not like only out of all these people, only 2 people are done. Oh my God, only Ravadi ma'am did the work, or Mr. Because Dubey has done the work. Oh, you are feeling upset, right? Happy, be happy. Let him perform and be happy with that. Then you never get any difficulty in handling this sadness and happiness. Okay, with that, without further delay, I am going to Vijay. Vijay has come. So I will just play the video. You wash your hand and you sanitizer, right? Just use that. Okay, let me play the video, and hopefully you'll be able to see that. Ranga, confirm the sound and other quality of video.
Okay.
Yeah, let me start.
It's like kattai varudhu.
Let me play panla, not yet played. I'm going to play now.
Vadaname Chandra Bimbamo Mohanam theriyadu.
People talk a lot about the cloud. Do they really know what it is? Probably not. Wouldn't it be great if you...
Is it better?
Echo irukku.
Echo, 1 second.
One room le echo irukku. Voice le echo irukku.
Yeah. Let me reduce the volume.
Apply panna.
The next couple of minutes. Great.
Is it better?
Talk about cloud is to use a metaphor.
No, romba bass jaasti.
Imagine the cloud as a form of transportation.
Sridevi madam una paada solranga. Paaduvar madam, sayangalam paaduvar.
Showing clouds.
1 second. Is it better now?
The first element is on demand. Let's say you have to meet
Okay, better.
Okay.
If you use standard infrastructure.
Okay, so let me play this from starting again. Pay attention. So this is a journey into the cloud.
Maximize maadu.
People talk a lot about the cloud. Do you really know what it is? Probably not. Wouldn't it be great if you could know a lot more about the cloud in the next couple of minutes? Great. The best way to talk about cloud is to use a metaphor. Okay, first imagine the cloud is a form of transportation, like a taxi, in a place called megacity. Showing the cloud as a taxi service makes it a snap to talk about the 5 key elements of cloud computing. The first element is on demand. Let's say you have to...
There will be a quiz after this video. So you got to play, because I will be sharing these characteristics. These are all the characteristics of the cloud. I'll be explaining in my presentation also. Please pay attention.
Come sir. We are ready for the quiz. Come.
If you use standard infrastructure, you need to spend time and money trying to find and buy the right car to get you to Jane. Get this, the cloud is right there for you. Just like a taxi, it pulls up to the curb right when you need it. And when you're done, it moves on to a different customer. Exactly. And just like a taxi, the cloud operates on metered service. Yes, and since you won't need to own a car anymore, you won't have to pay to store or maintain it when you're not using it. Now imagine that alongside you, there are 6 other people who also need to meet Jane. To complete a task like this, the cloud utilizes a little something called resource pooling. In Megacity, this means that based on user need, the number of taxis dispatched to pick up Jane's friends is automatically assigned, no whistling required. Resource pooling also allows multiple people to securely use the same app at the same time. That's right. Now let's say a ginormous number of people need to get picked up. Rapid elasticity is a speedy way to get this done. Well, it's like sending out 1,000 taxis to pick up 1,000 people, rather than wasting time using a single taxi to take people one at a time. Actually, whether you need to use one taxi for 1,000 hours or 1,000 taxis for 1 hour, there's no cost difference. You can turn a lot more ideas into reality. The final element of the cloud is broad network access. So anywhere a network is available, all of your information and data are there waiting for you. Now that we can talk about the cloud in the same way, let's see how you can best access the power of the cloud. Lots of companies provide services in the cloud. Of course it does. Microsoft offers a wide range of cloud services, including the Windows Azure platform. It is. Since Windows Azure is in the cloud, the applications and data you create are directly connected to computing and storage at scale as you need them. You can be assured that Windows Azure was created with security as a top priority. And to help your business build comprehensive solutions, Microsoft Services works alongside Windows Azure to give you a high level of customer service, expertise, and support directly from Microsoft. Our experts take into account your current infrastructure, spanning on-premise, off-premise, and hybrid cloud strategies, so your team can develop applications that will allow your business to reach its full potential in the cloud. Now that you have a handy taxi metaphor to help you talk about building cloud-optimized applications, and you know that Windows, Azure, and Microsoft services are a great way to get your business there, what are you waiting for? A taxi?
Hello guys, I'm Vishal and I welcome you all to this introductory session on Cloud by Direka. I hope you all are in the ping.
Okay, cool. Hope you got excited. You got some nice introduction to cloud, I believe. Any yes and no, Ranga? Yes, sir. Thank you, Ravi.
They are saying yes, yes.
Excellent. Cool. Okay, what is the one characteristics, like there are like 5 or 6 characteristics have been discussed by the demo, in the demo. Can you just name something? On demand, excellent. Then pay for use, less waste of time, okay. Money, less money, cool, excellent. Good job, very nice. Good answers. There you go. So I'm just going to go run for another half an hour time, and then Mr. Vijay will be giving the demo. He's already here. He's setting up. So cloud is basically a general term or umbrella term used to describe a new class of network-based computing. Basically, it's a network-based computing. It's like old wine in a new bottle. It's basically internet, right? But now it is more internet and more network of systems. Even I can put my laptop in the cloud. I can put my mobile in the cloud. So earlier there will be only one, one server will be running. There will be one server will be running. You connect through a LAN or WAN and things like that. But now many systems are all connected. All the data centers are connected, right? So it's basically a step on from a utility computing. When you turn your switch, you are getting the electricity, right? It's a utility computing. So do you care about what they are doing in Neyveli, Lignite Corporation, NLC? There are so many power grids, or it's basically one step above from the grid computing, right? There will be one separate session I can handle about types of computing. There are a lot of computing. Ubiquitous computing, parallel computing, nano computing, super computing, it goes on, right? It is a kind of inherited from utility computing and grid computing. So basically, a collection of integrated and networked hardware and software and infrastructure is available. That's called a platform. So you can just use it. I want to run a company. I wanted to develop mobile application, no problem. Okay, I can simply, instead of paying like setting up a company and then doing all the things, wasting like 1 crore, 2 crore, setting up all the servers and things like that, I can simply connect to a cloud provider. Bingo, you will be done. Using internet for communication. So the key is you got to have an internet. If you don't have an internet, you are screwed, right? Can you give me an example of the cloud which you are using day to day now? We are already using a cloud. Can you just name some of the cloud software you are using?
Drive, they are saying.
Excellent. Google Drive is a classic example. In fact, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Keep it going, people. Try it. Wait, how?
All of them are
Google Cloud.
running cloud, yeah. So, you talk about elasticity, like a rubber band. You can just shrink the increase the rubber band, right? It can go up to the capacity. For example, I can shrink the rubber band to smaller size. I can shrink to bigger, like a balloon, right? So you can scale up and scale down in capacity and functionality. Not only the size, even functionality. I only want this service. I don't want this service. So you can scale up and scale down. And hardware and software services are available to public, enterprises, corporations, and business markets, right? So it's an umbrella term used to refer to internet-based computing. Not only when I say computing, that means we are developing something. We are providing these services. There are a lot of characteristics define the cloud data, which you have seen in the video, right? Remotely hosted. You see cloud. Is it cloud is in your hand? No, it is remotely there. So you need, it's there. Cloud is formed remotely, right? So remotely hosted and ubiquitous services or data available from anywhere and commodified, like commodity computing, right? Pay per use. How you pay for electricity? You have electricity, whatever units you consume, you pay. The same way, whatever you are using, you'll be paying accordingly. And this is a nutshell of a cloud architecture. On the bottom line, you can see there are so many hardware, right? There are devices, machines, and then storage devices, servers, and things like that, with, all connected. And on top of that, we will build the IT services. A lot of services will give, and then we'll give it as a service value next to all the end users. So end users can simply use the service, expose the service, avail the service, right? So basically, if you see at this example, there is a set of systems in the data center, and they're all connected to the servers, right? And they're all, we call it as a shared pool of configurable computing resources. So these will be shared, okay? Like 10 servers connected together to form one big server, or one big server is shared for like a multiple systems, right? On-demand network access provisioned by a service provider, and you have a storage, you have applications, etc., right? And you get the services. So this is very important for you. Cloud computing characteristics. There are some common characteristics of a cloud: massive scale, homogeneity, virtualization. Because even Amazon, Microsoft, Google, even anybody, right? No one can build one big server. You have to either go like this or like this. If you start building servers, you will need like a building of 20 floors or 30 floors. Even it's not going to be sufficient. How much you can add, vertical or horizontal? That is where the Hadoop systems come into picture. We go horizontal, not vertical, right? So resilient computing, right? We always talk about the mean time to repair, the mean time between failure. There are two parameters. So we will be a quick resilient and quickly available and geographically distributed, service orientation, low cost software and security, advanced security. And if I'm saying I'm a cloud provider, I should have these essential characteristics. This is must. On-demand self-service. Like we are going to a hotel and buffet system is there, or you go Kayendi Bhavan, you go there, you just take it and then start eating it and then coming out of it, right? You pay the money. On-demand self-service, broad network access, rapid elasticity, measured service, resource pooling. Did you see these 5 in the video? Are they saying yes, Ranga? These are all what you might have seen in the
YouTube. Yeah, they're saying yes.
Excellent. Cool. So there are like 3 important services model in the cloud. Okay. Vijay is going to show the Amazon Web Services. That is basically infrastructure as a services. Basically, like, I wanted to run one function, I can rent a hotel. Like that, I wanted to run one big Corona calculation, right? I don't have money to buy or build a system. I don't have the capacity, right? So I can just go into a cloud. I can go to Rackspace or NetApps or Microsoft or Google or anybody, and then you go there and avail the infrastructure as a services like a rent. You can rent the storage, processor you can rent, network you can rent, all the computing resources you can rent. Then you can also have a platform as a service. I would like to run one Microsoft, based application, Java based application, Google based application. They provide you the platform for you. It's all installed for you to work with that. They will be giving you an application. You can just use, for example, very simple example, you wanted to build one application like a Book My Show. You wanted to do some Facebook type of social media. It's available for you. You just go there, use it, configure it. That is the platform as a service. On top of that, we have this, software as a service. So like say, I wanted to do a graphics. I want to use Adobe. Instead of me using Adobe on my system, Adobe is available on the cloud. I just go to http://Adobe cloud. I can go. Very simple example is 365-degree Office, right? 360. You can just use that Office and email software. Even for my work with the US company, the timesheet and all is a software. It is hosted in the cloud, and the content management. So many things are all hosted in the cloud. So it's all there. I can simply use it. I don't have to install. I don't have to maintain. Everything is automatically done for you. You don't have to worry about it. You just consume. After I'm done, I just revoke the contract. These are all the three important services in the cloud, right? So we have, there are like nowadays cloud is getting matured. You can have a software. Suppose I want, like, you have a license, Windows you are using, Apple, Mac you are using, a license will be given to you. So there is individually a tenant using that software. It is called single tenant service. You can also have a multi-tenant service. See this? This is another, instance is configured. There is a multi-tenant also. See this? The instance is shared by multi-tenant. Like say you have a PG hostel, PG house, like 4 or 5 people are sharing. The same instance, virtual instance of a software is shared by multiple people. That is called multi-tenant. There are two models. One single instance model or multi-tenant model, right? And you have a multi-tenant, multi-tier model. So these are all some of the maturity model available. These are all some popular examples of different cloud computing thing, right? For storage, we have Amazon S3. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. The storage is given as a service. Very simple example, Google Drive. Google Drive give you some capacity, right? But you have to do a lot of things. You can't manage effectively, but you can build your own storage, and then you can give it to other people, things like that. And you have EC2, 3 tera, and then application you have Postcom, AWS, Heroku. One of my students has deployed a separate page for me using Heroku. He built application for me using Heroku. Facebook, right? And Facebook applications can be hosted. You can build your own thing. An application as a services, you have like a Cisco, Salesforce, Microsoft Live, Exchange, IBM, Google Apps, all those things, right? And I'll move on this quickly. And then there are, like, this is very important concept you should know. A cloud cannot exist without virtualization. You see here, when I was engineering manager and head of the technical services across the globe, we used to build, a virtual platform. I bought a hardware about worth of 75 lakhs, like a big server with good, SAN capacity. Then we applied a virtualizer, hypervisor, right? And then I created like about 30 virtual machines. 10 virtual machines are used by India, 10 by US, and 10 by China. So cost effective, right? So hypervisor is nothing but a virtualization software which helps you to build your own virtual machine. Even here in my system, currently I am running the Type 2 virtualizer. I am running, my computer is my PC. This PC is This PC is Windows 10, right? So Windows 10 Home Single Language Edition, and then I am running on my virtual machine, right? So this is I'm on top of my virtualization environment. I'm running a Red Hat Linux. So see, we use a virtual box. So this is the Linux server. I'm running a Linux server on top of the Windows. So that is basically the type 2 hypervisor. So we have type 2 and type 1 hypervisor. Let it come. It's just going on. Let it go. Yeah, we can also have the other type of hypervisor. This is basically very powerful. The entire machine is virtualized, completely virtualized. In the previous case, we will have some OS installed. We will have installed OS, but here the UML, Denali, Zen, Citrix Zen, Vijay Bharat uses a lot of Citrix Zen, and now a lot of people are moving to Amazon. So on top of that, we install the guest OS. There will be some basic OS will be there, that is called host OS, and we can run any guest OS, and you can run any number of application. So that is para virtualization and full virtualization, right? And we also have like different types of cloud. I hope I will have it here. Let me see, and then I'll come back to this. I don't think it has. Okay, there are 3 or 4 types of cloud. The way how we use the cloud. One type is called public cloud, where people can use, everyone can use the public. Facebook, Google have a public cloud, and you can also build a private cloud. Okay, a cloud which is meant for only for particular organization and things like that. And there is a hybrid cloud. When I was the architect for British Telecom, where we have a British Telecom consumers uses the British Telecom portal. And the company client also use a portal. There will be some portal, some services which is available for both public and private. So that is basically called hybrid cloud. It's very simple. You all know internet. Internet is public. Internet is private. There is another term called, anybody knows what is the other term called, third term? Internet is public. Intranet is local. LAN is your local. What is another one we call? It starts with the letter E. Anybody is giving answer, Ranga?
You're saying Ethernet.
No. Extranet is a correct answer. Yeah, extranet. So that's basically a hybrid cloud. And there is one more cloud called a community cloud. A cloud can be created for a community purpose. For example, some social service or a specific work, right? Like say Rahman is doing some program in Canada for raising some fund, or somebody is doing some services and things like that. We have a community cloud. So these are all the types of the cloud we have, and you have these services as you see from here. Infrastructure as a service. Amazon provides you the infrastructure as a service, and a lot of companies provide computing service. Microsoft provides that. Services have to be managed, and this is a nice cloud taxonomy. Looking at the the management side of it, you can manage the data like operating system. How operating system work? Operating system manages all the resources, right? So all the resources have to be managed. You have a platform as a service. You have a software as a service. For all the software is available pretty much. I'll just show you one simple software as a service example. But I think the Linux is on. Yeah, see this? Now I am running my Linux. Okay, so this is. Yeah, now I am in on my Unix server. This is a classic example of virtualization, right? So it's coming. You see my screens and SQLs and things like that. So this is basically the power of virtualization. This is the concept the cloud company is using it. You'll buy a big machine. You can build your own cloud. People are making money. Right, so you buy one big server, you create one cloud, and then you can host all the applications there. It's possible. You can do that, right? So,
Venkat, sorry to interrupt. If you want, I can show those public cloud, private cloud slide if you want.
Yeah, please. You show this slide. I will explain. No problem. Thank you, Ranga. I'll stop sharing. Just give me a second. Yeah, I'm stop presenting. You can just show that. I will show an example by the time.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You want me to explain, or are you looking at something?
No, I can. Just give me. I have to look at your presentation and pin it. Yeah. Okay. See, public cloud is mega sale cloud infrastructure, right? So basically,
1 second, Doc. You covered this, right? So this one this is the one
already covered. Yeah. Cloud service models are covered.
So tell them the 3-4-5 model.
Yeah.
3-4-5 rule.
Exactly. Thank you very much. That's good. So basically, there are like 3 services, 3, 4, 5. You can remember, you remember about these terms, 3, 4, 5. Remember, yesterday we talked about partitioning rule. So cloud has 3 different services types. Okay. And then it has 4 deployment model and 5 essential characteristics. Next slide, Ranga. Okay, what are the 3 cloud services? As we described, software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service, right? Which we already explained, right? And then, software is just given. Just hang on, Ranga. I will, okay, after you finish it, after this PPT, I will show an example of all the 3. Next, you can move on. Yeah, platform as a service, like Google platform, Microsoft Azure platform, everything, right? And then you have infrastructure as a service. You are getting all the storage systems, switches, routers. The entire data center is made available to you, so you can use it. Next one. On type of a deployment model, how the cloud is deployed, how it is available to the public, or how available to the consumers. So if it is going to be available for everybody, mega public, then it is called as a public cloud, okay, where many customers and people are using it. And next, so you have a private cloud. It is just meant for solely for a specific organization, like say SASTRA as a SASTRA cloud. Like that, you can have an individual cloud. Infosys has their own cloud, right? Next. So you have a hybrid cloud, which is a sort of a mixture of both, public and private cloud, wherein people can access. Some of the parties of customers can access it. Next. Community cloud is just meant for a specific mission, specific requirement, right? They can just create and then destroy. And there is a standard. You see one word there, NIST. NIST stands for National Institute of Standards and Technology. Yesterday I was covering for my cloud computing students, for the undergraduate student. So basically that NIST is the standard company. They define how a cloud architecture is supposed to be. If you are a cloud service provider, what you must do. All those things are all available under NIST, right? So Open Cirrus is one example of a community cloud, right? Next, we move on to 5 essential characteristics.
Just to add one thing to this, Doc.
Yeah.
Community cloud, friends, is predominantly, if you can see here, it can be industry-specific clouds where there are certain security requirements that needs to be applied. Let's say, for example, you want to apply for a passport, a driving license. Those are all type of industries, government-related stuff where security is important. It could be for a specific automobile industry. It can be a specific manufacturing industry. So That is also one of the uses of community cloud.
Yeah, I think you can, okay, go to the 5 characteristics, Ranga. I think that people can say that, yeah, back. Previous slide. So it's already there. See, rapid elasticity, measured service, cloud services to be measured. For example, you can see that. You look at this, you go to Saravana Bhavan, a classical example. Anybody has tried in Saravana Bhavan? Saravana Bhavan does a nice job. Even we, myself and Ranga ate in Saravana Bhavan in California. We ate in Saravana, in Singapore also. Wherever you go, Saravana Bhavan give it in a small cup. Sambar will be in a small cup. Pongal and idli, you have to learn from Saravana Bhavan how to use it. A small cup, okay, a small cup of pongal. Costly too, correct. And then rapid elasticity, like, rubber band, like it can increases and decreases. And then you have like, the local transport resource pooling. All the resources are pooled. If you look at it, this is like many are pooled together. And ubiquitous network access anywhere, anytime, on demand self-service. It is like, I can just press this button. Where did you see this? Do you remember? Have you seen this anywhere? Nowadays, you can find it in
airports. Airports is there.
Water malls. Water malls. Okay. Shopping malls. Yeah. At the airport, you will predominantly find in shopping malls also they are introducing these, right? So you just press the water so that they don't waste it. On-demand self-service. Excellent. Excellent. So that's it, Ranga. You can close it now. Thank you very much. I think it's very thoughtful. Appreciate it. Good job. Okay. Let me share my screen and then I'm going to shortly introduce Mr. Vijay Bharat. Vijay Bharat, you can use my system itself if you want to use demo. In there only. You connect to the network. You have the link with you. You connected already? You're already connected. Oh, you're already there. Vijay Bharat is already there. Looks like it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah.
Okay. See this. Are you seeing my replica timesheet? Yeah. So, are you seeing Ranga?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a classic example of this is a time management software. This is the software as a service. See, the cloud clock is available, right? And this is like I do a consulting for a company, right? So I can just log in. It is using the SAML. Now they are having a different methodologies, right? So you can just go and then you see this current services status. So I can enter, okay, whatever hours I spend, I can put the comment, bingo, done. I can save, okay. So purging, okay, just save. That's it. So I'm done. The advantage of this is this company should not be worried about how to manage the time. It is a simple example of the outsourcing. Yeah, I just outsource, right? So all these things are all outsourced using a software as a service, infrastructure as a service, right? So with that, and then with the platform as a service, it's very simple example. If you go to this AWS, right? So I can have this AWS Management Console, and I can get a solution, whatever solution I want. Am I looking for what type of solution I'm looking for? I can go and I can get it. Even Microsoft provides a Google example. If you say Google Apps, you can do all the application using Google Apps. You go to the Google Apps, Google Apps on Google, right? So you can have the Google Apps, and then you can start, building it. That provides you all the platform for you. And infrastructure, very good example is your Google Drive. Already, let me go to my Venkata. Okay, just go to this Google Drive. So you have this accounts, email, Drive, docs, sheets, slides, meet, contacts, groups, right? Hangouts, Jamboard, collections, podcast, classroom, cloud print. This is client, right? This is a good example of a platform as a service. So we use a tool called Impetus, right? So this Impetus is a tool, and this is using all the data are all available in the infrastructure, right? So if we go here, this is a platform I'm using for bits. Okay, so all the data, all this data and everything is stored in an external place, right? So bits doesn't have to maintain all these data because if you look at these videos and things like that, there are about every faculty would have generated like 4 GB or 8 GB, right? So basically, here we have like this. See how many videos are all there, right? So all these are all probably like each one will be about 15 GB or 16 GB or 10 GB. Imagine like one person, Venkatas Brahmanian, right? There is Ashutosh Agarwal, multiple people. So all these are all going to be stored in an external place, and then whenever we want, we can just use it. That is a classic example of infrastructure as a service. With that, I am done with my session. I'll again join back after 11:30 or 11:45. I'll be there, and I'll hand over the session to Mr. Vijay Bharat. Quick brief about Vijay Bharat. You just turn on your video, brother. Remove your mask. Mr. Vijay Bharat, he is service delivery manager and also certified cloud AWS certified architect. And I'm very proud to announce that Mr. Vijay Bharat is my student, like how myself and Ranganath were students of Alirani madam, and Mr. Vijay Bharat is my student. I used to handle him almost which year, Vijay? 2004, and he was my undergraduate.
Oh, they will know your age, doctor. Don't say all this, man. They will find out your age now. Come on.
2004, he was my. By the way, one of my student who was my student in 1992. She is working with me as a colleague in one of the institution where I am doing.
Participants, please. By the way, you could figure out his age from whatever you just said. I am not as old as him. Okay.
Yeah. You are. I am your elder brother, Ranga. Okay.
He was my classmate because he failed in a few years, so that's why.
He was always young, sir. No problem.
Okay, so and he is working in a company, a big company, MNC company called FutureNet, and they provide a lot of 24/7 IT services and IT support for many clients. Okay, so he takes care of one client account wherein he's offering all the cloud services. They are basically the data center is migrated to cloud, and with that introduction, and he's been working. He is also like academician. He worked as an academician. He was an industry person and became an academician. Again, become an industry person. So with that intro, I will hand over the session to Mr. Vijay Bharat. It's all yours. Go ahead. Welcome, Vijay.
Hi, Vijay. Welcome, Vijay.
I've stopped sharing, Vijay. You can present.
Hi, Vijay. Good to see you.
Are you seeing Mr. Ranganath there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Sure. Good morning, Master. Okay.
உன்னதான் சொல்றாங்க.
அப்படியா?
ஓ விஜய் சொல்றாங்க. விஜய் பரத்ல விஜய் மாஸ்டர் விஜய் ஃபேன் அவங்க.
Oh, Vijay. Vijay, they are looking at you. Are you not turned on the video, Vijay? No? Okay, then I'm picture of Vijay.
சூர்யா ஃபேனா நீங்க? சரி.
Oh, I'm the Vijay Master. Oh, now only I got it. Vijay Bharat.
மாஸ்டர், ஆமா.
Oh, let me tell you a good tea story.
அதேதான்.
Vijay Bharat doesn't show the picture, so I will try to show Vijay picture. He can escape from it. No, you're not yet audible. You didn't turn on the.
He's loading, huh? He's loading the PPT.
Yeah.
Is it ready or it will take some time? I think you have to mute, doctor. Otherwise, there will be kutti stories. Yeah, like you. நீ சொல்ற மாதிரியா உன் குட்டி ஸ்டோரி.
Am I audible?
Yes, Venkat, you have to cut that audio, otherwise it's echoing. Vijay, go ahead, பேசு. Vijay, go ahead. Speak. Fantastic. Yeah, can you just speak a little? Yeah, speak again.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Before getting into the demo, let me show you a screen where you could see the differences between the software as a service, infra as a service, and the platform as a service. Is it visible, Ranga sir?
Yes.
Yes. You could see here the on-premise environment. Like we manage a data center, and you can see the various layers on an on-premise environment. That is, from here you can understand the difference, like how an on-premise environment is being given on a cloud environment. So if it is a software, like so no need to worry about any of the layers. Like you can directly use the software as a service, like Venkat sir said. The Google Cloud is one of the best example which we have, and the Office 365. Anything which you use on a browser, any application, you directly access it on a browser. It comes under the software as a service. And when it comes to platform, you don't have you don't have a Linux environment, or you don't have a Mac environment, but your operating system, your laptop operating system is having only a Windows environment, but you need a Linux environment for you to host something on that, for you to host a website on a Linux environment, on an Apache web server. So if that is a requirement you have, based on the requirement, we select the cloud. Either it could be a software, or it could be a platform, or it could be a infra. So we will come from software, platform, and the infra. So if it is a software, I need to directly access my applications. I need to use the application or build an application or like directly using an application on a software environment. You could see at the right hand side, like you have all the layers coming onto the software. You don't worry about the infra, where it runs, where the server is, where it is being hosted. You can just use the application right away. That is what we use it, right? Like whatever cloud applications we use now using browsers, like you directly get into a link and the service is given through as a link. So you can use it. We have various links we have. When it comes to platform, you have a requirement like you need to, run an application and on a different platform. Your requirement is you have a Windows, for example, I have a Windows, machine. And on top of it, what I need is, I need a Linux environment, and on top of it, I need some Apache, and I'm going to host some website which I have built into that Apache web server. Okay. In such instances, we need a platform, right? We need an environment, we need an operating system. On top of that, we need what? We need the applications to be hosted. So you need that environment. That is what, when you take virtualization as a picture, as Venkat sir said, like you have two kinds of virtualization. Virtualization is nothing but cloud is almost virtualized environment. Okay. So if you take virtualization, you will fall on any of these two types of virtualization. That is, it could be the type 1 or it could be the type 2. If it is the type 1, we call it as full virtualization. And if it is type 2, it is called as para virtualization or host virtualization. You have many.
Vijay, you are just explaining with that one page, right? You're not changing
it. Just initiating with that, and I'm moving on to that.
Okay, fine.
Some requirement we must have, right? Like some basic requirement.
Yes, I was just wondering because you were saying layer 1, layer 2. It's not seen here.
No, not like that.
Okay, okay, fine. Carry on, carry on.
Yes, sir. So I have a different host, and on top of that, I need another host to be used, but I'm not actually having it me. So I'm taking platform as a service. Okay, why we need this platform? So under the virtualization, these virtualization can be done on two ways. One is full, we call that as bare metal, and the para virtualization or post virtualization is what we have applications like VirtualBox. On your laptop, you can, you can create your own, deploy your own virtualized environment. You can use a VirtualBox, Oracle VirtualBox, or a VMware VirtualBox, and on top of that, what you can do is you can install the applications you need. A similar kind of a structure is given by the cloud environment. That is cloud provider. Either it could be the AWS or it could be Azure. Coming to the infrastructure. Infrastructure is like I need to host a complete, I need to handle the environment itself. Instead of only handling the operating system, the operating system is given by an environment. On top of that, you're going to install some application. Here, I need to host my own, the infra. How it can be done? This can be done on a cloud environment, which is being provided by the AWS or Azure. Okay. When you come to your on-premise environment, you need to set up everything. You need to buy, the servers or the switches, the firewalls, everything you need to buy, and you can set up a cloud environment based on the types. Like as you said, the public cloud providers are the, the major competitors like AWS or the Azure, many other vendors are there. Here, we can also set up a cloud-like environment in our own data center. Okay, by doing virtualization. Virtualization stands as a base. So it comes under the private cloud kind of a thing. Because you're setting up the cloud environment on the data center and giving it your own employees. For example, you take an organization, you're going to, build a data center by buying, the servers and the racks and employ it by internet for communication, do intra-communication, everything cost. And you can also do virtualization inside the organization by using, on a bare metal environment, you can install virtualized softwares like these virtualizations can be given to you by various, technologies like Citrix, VMware. Okay. Now what I'm going to show is, I'm going to show you, we'll have some basic, creation of instances on an AWS environment. To do this, I'm stopping my presentation here. Let me take you into this AWS. It has various services, almost 55 services they provide. But here I'm going to show you very basic services like how to create an instance, means a virtual machine on a public cloud environment. Okay. Yeah, this is your AWS Management Console. Let me sign off. Amazon Web Services is one of the major IaaS provider when compared to Azure. So any user, like they provide a 1 year, like a year of free subscription for the students. Just you need one email ID. Hello?
Sir, sorry
Madam.
for interruption.
Yes, madam.
Sir, how to presenting anything, sir?
Yeah,
It's
I'm able
not
to see,
visible,
madam.
sir.
It is visible. I can
Not
see it. I can see it.
My AWS
That's
screen
why
is visible, sir.
Yeah, it is visible. How about others? Yeah, it's visible, madam. நீங்க pin பண்ணுவோம்.
visible. Oh, but we are not seeing. Okay, we'll check it.
Okay, madam.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Vijay, can you just pin yourself so that somebody also presents? You
One
can do it
second.
from the chat, go to the people and then pin yourself.
Is it
Click on
okay?
the- Yeah, you pinned
Yeah,
yourself.
got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, super. Yeah, carry on.
This is the AWS Management Console. We can avail it by having an email ID, and initially for doing this free subscription, two kinds of subscription they provide. One is a free subscription of 12 months for students. Only thing is you need to provide one, what is that? Either your debit card or credit card. They will take only 2 rupees for you to, what is that? Take this subscription as a free, and they will revert back it. Right away, you can try this after this session. The same facility is available in Azure too. You could see at the top, you have a lot of services provided by the AWS based on the requirement. The basic service today we want to see is under the compute. Compute is, that is the EC2 service. EC2 is Elastic Cloud Compute. That is what they mentioned as EC2, which is used to create an instance. Instance is nothing
Vijay, your voice it just goes in and out.
going down.
No, உள்ள போயிட்டு வெளியில வருது. Is it moving? Your thing is moving or something?
No, not like that.
No, mic. Yeah, now it's good. Carry on.
1 second, sir. Is it okay now?
Yeah, perfect.
EC2 is Elastic Cloud Compute, which is used to create a virtual machine. What I will do is I'll create a virtual machine on the public cloud, and I will access the machine and I'll show you, okay? And then I will show you under the storage, we have S3, that is simple storage service, which is used to store a data of 0 to 5 TB. Like it is like a storage area. Like you can use it for a static web hosting. You all know about web hosting. We can create a website and we can host it using the S3 bucket. So the storage can be provided onto an S3 bucket, and you can link this with the DNS so that your storage will be under the S3 bucket and you can host it. And coming to the database services, you have RDS, real-time data services, and various databases based on the pay-per-use subscription. First, let me take you into this EC2. Already I've created one instances. I'll create a new instance for you. And we were talking about the scale in and scale out, right? Vengat sir was scale in and scale out. So scale in is that is scale up and scale out. Scale up is nothing but the capacity what you have hosted. For example, you want to extend the storage of a database, or on a real-time basis. You want to upgrade the capacity, you can directly upgrade it. For example, you have an instance, the instance will be running, okay? To that, you can add a hard disk. For example, you can add a space. So if it is an on-premise environment, you need to shut the server down. Okay, even you can plug this, plug and play kind of a hard disk. This can be done in public, the cloud environment, where you can add additional storage to your instances. That is scaling up. Scaling out is you can increase the capacity of the the instances. When an instance is running, your instance is already loaded. Okay, to withstand the load, AWS helps us to auto scale facility. It will auto scale so that additional instance will be created automatically without our intervention, so that your business did not get affected, okay, due to load. This is one of the major facility which is there in the cloud environment. So click on to the instances. Already an instance is running. So at the top, you could see launch instance. Click that. Okay. AMI is nothing but Amazon mission image. So already images are loaded. Images are nothing but the operating system images. Okay, we can select various images. Amazon is providing the standard, and the meaning is the configuration. Go very on a simple term. We call that as configuration. For example, you need a computer. It's like a computer. You need a computer with what operating system, what the RAM it should have, and what space you're going to provide for the C drive for your mission to use. The same thing. When you go to a computer store and when you go for the configuration, here also on a cloud, they have various configurations already defined, and we're going to use it. Here, you could see here Amazon Linux free tier eligible. It means as I'm using a free account, this is a free account.
Let me just, sorry to interrupt, let me just add one thing to this particular Amazon machine image. You could easily connect this to, let's say you're buying a computer. The computer comes pre-installed with a lot of software, your OS. Let's say you want Windows, Microsoft, Office, Excel, all the different softwares that you want to use. If you assume that it comes in pre-installed and you just open up, press the button, you're ready to go. So you can imagine that to be similar to that. Vijay, can you please scroll down a little bit, show them some other, the ones that he's going to show are you'll have to pay, because when you select this, make sure it says, you select the one which says free tier eligible. Just scroll down, Vijay, to like maybe something like a machine language. There is one, because they have seen machine language. See, if you want to do a database, straight away it says MS Windows SQL Server 2019 with SQL Server. You put this image, it's going to have the SQL Server pre-installed on it. So these are, if you scroll down, there might be some machine learning related Python and all will be there.
Deep learning.
Right software. There. You see that? Yeah. You see that this deep learning AMI, you install this. If you can see there, it comes already in pre-installed with TensorFlow, Caffe, MXNet, and all that stuff. Okay, so I just wanted to show that. Yeah, thanks, Carry on.
Yeah, here many images has been provided by this based on the paper as you go. And now I'm to show you only a mission which comes under the free tier eligible. Please select this. And under that, initially we have selected the AMI, that is the image. Under the image, you need to have what kind of a machine you are going to select. That is the configuration. What kind of processor it is going to have. It is going to have a one core, that is the CPU, virtual CPU. Here, under the free tier, they provide us only T2.micro. But if you could see, you can have any kind of server environment. For example, if you see T2.2x large, it will have 8 core of CPU and 32 GB of RAM. Okay. So you'll have 8-core CPU and 32 GB RAM, and based on that, the cost. Okay, I'll show you a calculator, how the cost is calculated. So you can see at the top, currently selected model as a single CPU core, and which has only 1 GB of memory. EBS is nothing but elastic block storage. That is the hard disk we are going to attach to this system. That is the instance. Click next. Here you can see the network, and if you're going to have a separate cloud itself can be configured on an AWS. So you need to create one virtual private network. For example, you are going to create 10 instances, and all these 10 instances are on a separate subnet. That is a small network on the cloud itself. For example, your organization is having 50 computers. You're going to have 50 instances on the cloud. What you can do is you can set up a private network on the cloud, and then you can create small subnets. Inside those subnets, you can attach these instances into that. So to configure that, you could see here under this network, you can create a new virtual private network. That is the VPC. Here, as we are directly going to host this mission on a cloud, okay? So I'm going to use the default VPC. I'm not going to create a new one. If you want to create, please click here and you can create it. Okay, for example, once the VPC is created, you can also attach your internet through the VPC, and you can select which subnet alone the internet has to get through. That also you can do. So I told you, right? Launch into auto scaling group. You can see here. If you get this feature, automatically when this machine gets overloaded, another machine of same configuration will be created for you. Now we are going to add the storage, that is the EBS storage. So by default, they give us a 30 GB of default volume. If you want an additional volume, you can add. What I will do is, now I will add this default volume to launch that instance. Later on, I will show you how to add an additional volume and attach to the machine. For referencing, we can have the the key tags for accessing the machine in a later perspective. Final one is security group. And how you're going to access this machine. This instance is running on the public cloud. And
madam, please mute Shanmugarajan sir. Shanmugarajan sir, please mute him, madam.
I repeat.
Go ahead.
We want to configure the security group. Here also, as I said, you can have a default security group as we are into a default network. Okay. And how am I going to access this machine? By using which protocol? Either I'm going to access this. This is an instance, right? So what I do is I'm going to use the RDP protocol, remote desktop access protocol. Next is reviewing and launching it. So the images, whatever I've selected, will be displayed here for a verification. Now you click launch. Before launching, it will ask you to create a key pair. In cryptography, we would have studied public-private key pairs. Similarly, we need to have a password, right, to access the machine. So what you do is you create a new key pair, select new key pair, give some name. Okay. Download the key pair. So we have got one public key. Okay. Using that, we are going to decrypt this and get the password little later. So now I have downloaded it, and then now I launch my instance. You can see the launching log or directly get into the EC2, and here you can get into the running instances tab. The second one is the machine which we have created. Let me remove the first one. So to stop, you can go to instance state, stop the instance. When you get into actions, you will have three states, like you can stop the instances like we used to shut down the machine, right? Similar way. If you want to terminate it, you can directly terminate, will remove the instance, okay? Now, the machine which we have created has started running, the second one, and you can set an alarm. For example, like see here, we have a facility called CloudWatch. Using that, you can set an alarm. For example, if your CPU is overloaded, or if your RAM is overloaded, you can set an alarm. Based on that, you'll get an email. So before getting into that, at the top you could see regions. These are the regions where the data centers have been, deployed. Now, my instance is running on the Asia Pacific, that too on the Mumbai region. Okay, in India, we have this one specific region. For example, if your client is located in US, in North Virginia region, that is in US East, most of your users they're going to access the website. We will take one example. You're going to host a website or you're going to host an application where the user bandwidth lies mostly on the US East. So you can select this North Virginia region, and there you can create your missions so that the latency gets reduced. For example, here if you could see, I have hosted the machine in the Mumbai region. Okay. Now our machine is ready. You could see here the instance state is running and the status check. We call it as 2x2 check. See here at the bottom, 1 second. The details of the mission. The instance will have an instance ID and a public IP address and a private IP address. Using this public IP address, we are going to access this mission. Okay. Just 2 minutes, right? The mission has been created. Okay, copy this public IP address, or you can copy this public, DNS for us to access this mission. From my, from my laptop, I'm going to access this mission, which has been hosted on the cloud. Before that, go to actions. Okay, I repeat, you select the instance. 1 second. Okay. You select the instance which we have created now, go to actions, and then get Windows password. go to Actions and click the Get Windows Password. And here we are going to generate the password. So browse and select the PEM file. We have created, right? Select the PEM file and click Open. See, this is the private key which we have created to access this machine. Click Decrypt. And now you could see the password for this machine. Okay, copy it, paste it in a notepad or for a future use. Okay, and then you can come up with this. Now I'm going to access this machine. I'm going to name my mission. Now copy the public IP address from here. Copied it. So go to run. From there, type MSDSC. MSDSC will help us to take remote of this mission. That is, we are going to use the RDP protocol and we are going to access this mission. So we have copied the IP address, right? Just pasted the public IP address and click connect. I repeat, go to run, type MSDSC and you'll get this toolbox here. You paste the IP address which you copied there. That is the public IP address. Okay. Click connect. It will ask you for the credential. So username is administrator. And the password is already generated one. Okay, it is allowing me to load the instance. So Windows is getting prepared itself to load with the basic configuration. So we have got the machine loaded. Now we have created a new instance and we have launched it.
Vijay, there is a question. Vijay, there is a question.
Yes.
From one of the participants. Vijay sir, you said that we want to pay ₹2 for having an account. Is this a one-time payment? The answer is yes.
It's a refundable one.
While trying to pay, it asks PAN details also. Is it secured?
No, PAN detail is optional.
It's optional, Manjula madam. See whether it's got a required star next to the thing. See whether you can proceed without the PAN. Try to proceed. So the answer to your question, madam, is this ₹2 is a one-time payment. And as Vijay said, it will be refunded back to the credit card after, I think, 1 or 2 days.
Yes, I can show you the billing also. We need to, what is that? After we use the instance, we need to terminate it or shut it down.
Yeah. That you have to show them, because
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, when you create the instance, please follow at the end. If you don't shut it down, or you can even delete it if you're not going to use it. It's got 750 hours. He will explain it. So please make sure you follow that. Otherwise, you might get a bit. Carry on.
Yeah, they will waive off, sir. Like AWS will waive off if it is a free account.
Okay.
In such incidents, we can raise a case with AWS and we can waive it off. It's not an issue.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Now we have got the mission. So it has only one drive attached to it. Okay. So we created only 30 GB, right? So 29 is what the space is. So now what we will do, we will attach a volume to it. So at the left hand side, you can see under instances, you can create two ways creating the instances. One is spot instances. We call that as on demand, and we have reserved instances. Reserved instances is you can pay in advance for 3 years or 2 years, so that AWS provides you a discount. Okay. Okay, you can purchase reserved instances. Spot instances are nothing but the on-demand instances. What we have done now is the on-demand instances. You can instantly create instances and use it. Instance type is what I showed you, right? The configuration of each and every instance. You can see storage and even storage types. You have SSD. The one which we created now has some basic hard disk type. You can go with the storage type. If you need high IOPS, that is input outputs per second, you need high data transfer between your database. For example, you have hosted a database, your users are frequently accessing the database, fetching information from the database. Your database is hosted on an instance. That instance need a high performance hard disk drive. In such instances, you can go with this type. That is the C type of instance, which gives you a storage type of SSD. Okay. And then coming to AMIs. AMIs are nothing but, now I have created a mission. For example, I have a very basic mission. For example, now you're going to install some, TensorFlow or whatever application. You're going to install your own software into it. Okay. You can take a copy of this image and put it separate, so that in later instances, if later situations you need to create a similar kind of a mission, you can create it. Okay.
Just to add to that, to say, for example, for your college, you have a specific set of applications that needs to be loaded on all the virtual machines. Similar to that, you can create an AMI just for your college. So whoever comes in will get that image. So it will automatically have the pre-installed software specific to that organization.
It is like when we used to call that as ghost images. Okay, you take one image, load it on all the other desktops in your college. So what we will do, we will take one image separately, which has pre-installed Word or Java into it. So later on, you can copy that image, put it into load into all the other desktops. Similar way, we can do it here also. Now we created one mission, right? In that you install Java. For an example, I'm telling. Install Java into it, and then what you do, you convert that into an image and keep it. So later terms, like what you can do, using this image, you can create an instance directly. There is no need of going and selecting what is that, the core you want, the hard disk you want. It is like preloaded image. Coming to Elastic Block Store, that is the EBS. That is where the volumes are attached. Here the volume is separate. I can show you the volume. This is the volume which is attached to that machine. Now I'm going to create a new volume. So, once again, you can select create volume. See the volume type it is showing. So under volume type, you have all these 6 categories. That is, usually AWS provides us with the GP21, that is the SSD, general purpose SSD, which itself has a high performance kind of an hard disk. Even if you need more than that, you can go with the provisioned IOPS. Okay, so provisioned IOPS is nothing but the speed at which you access the data. The hits, for example, 1,000 to 10,000, you're going to move. Okay, your request is coming at a higher rate. You can use either the IOPS based HDD. The cold HDD is used for storing what is that data which doesn't require a frequent kind of an access. If you're going to access infrequently, your data are stored for years. For 2 to 3 years, you're not going to access the data in such a way that you can go with the cold HDD. Even you have throughput optimized. As I said, if your hard disk requires more number of throughputs, for example, 50,000 IOPS, you can go with this. The last one is the normal hard disk. So we will select I'm going to add 100 GB and then the region. So already Mumbai, if you see, it is AP South, right? So snapshot will come little later and add a tag, additional drive, some name. Sorry, this name, volume 1. Create a volume. You will get a volume ID. Instantly, you can create volumes. Okay. Now you could see here the IOPS. The basic IOPS is for your 30 GB is only 100. And for this, it is 300. M1. You can see it is available and already in use. Go to actions. There you're going to, you can see that is you're going to attach this volume. Okay. Snapshot is nothing but you can take a snapshot of this volume. For example, you are having a critical data stored updated every day in your instance. In those situations, at the day end, you can automate a snapshot to be created. For example, you have an 100 GB hard disk. You are storing some 30 GB of data inside that. Every day it gets updated, and it's a critical data. For example, if it's a banking domain, you store something more critical into it. You can automate a snapshot. Snapshot is nothing but an image of this volume. So if something goes wrong to this primary volume, what you can do, you can restore it from the snapshot. Now I'm going to attach this volume. So to which device or to which instance ID? So first what you do, you go to here. From here you can take the instance ID. See here, This is the instance ID, right? The instances which is running. So go to instances. And select it. Copy the instance ID. I repeat, go to instances and then in the properties, you can copy the instance ID and go to volume now under the EPS. This is unattached volume, right? So go to actions, attach volume. There you give the instance ID and give one second. We will create the volume again. As the volume zone is different, create a volume. Now you go attach it. Okay. Why it has not created is I created the volume in a different zone, that is AP South 1A, but my primary volume is in 1B. So that is where it is unable to access it. Now I'm attaching it. Now it's ready. You could see it is in use. It shows you a green state. Now we will get into our mission. Go to computer management. And then go to disk management. You can see the disk is added over here at the bottom. Is it visible? So this is the instance which we have launched it, right? It is running. To the live running machine, what you do, you just go to computer management. Okay. And then there you can see disk management under storage. Click that. You can now see the attached volume at the bottom. The 30 GB is it is for the system, and now I have attached it is unallocated. So if you get into this Explorer, it will not show you any D drive, only C drive is visible. It means it is a raw hard disk. Okay. So click this. Select the properties.
Vijay, we have to break at 10:45, so another 4 minutes.
What is the time now?
It's 10:41
Yeah.
now, so you have another 4 minutes.
Okay. So initialize the disk. I'm bringing the disk online. Okay. So right click here, click online. So I'm assigning the drive letter. So I'm creating a volume here and into my Windows. We need to format it, right? Then only it will be allocated for you. So formatting is done. I got the volume. So now you can see the volume here. It's simple, right? So in my computer, I have attached one volume, just like that. Any doubts?
Any clarifications, any doubts, any questions you can ask. Hope you guys were able to follow. Vijay took you guys through a very nice, slow installation of the VM. You know how to create the extra disks now to get it done. Yeah, they're saying no doubt, no doubts. So Sudha madam, we'll break now, madam, 10:45, and then we'll
Yes,
be
sir.
back at 11.
Yes, sir. We'll be back at 11, sir.
Okay, all right.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, we will continue after the break session.
Okay. Krishnakant sir, we will review the assignment in the afternoon. We'll give you the opportunity to present, Krishnakant sir, and we will also give our feedback. Definitely we will do. All of you keep your presentations ready. So we will have a session in the afternoon session. We will give you time to present, and we will definitely review and give you the feedback. Good job. Whoever has done it, do it. Who are still trying to do it, still do it. We still have time. Okay, see you all at 11 o'clock. Thank you. Okay, Vijay, you can mute now and then probably have some tea or come back at 11.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.